2017. That deserves the wave. Woo! Happy New Year. I am so excited. I don't know if it's just me, but something happens, I think, in a new year that gets me pumped up to see what's to come, to see who decides now to kind of draw their line in the sand and commit to the small daily tasks, whether it be in your workout or in your business, what that's going to bring over time. So it's like, this is the ultimate Monday. You know how everybody loves to start on a Monday? Well, this is the ultimate Monday, being the first Monday of 2016. And I'm super pumped to have you guys. I hope that you do take some time over the next couple of days, write down some goals, be intentional, backtrack it with activity, make activity goals for the upcoming year. I do have a great call that I did last year at this time that I want you guys to go back and listen to. I'll probably post it tomorrow at some point if you need some help with goal setting, or if you're just ready to take your life to the next level, need a little motivation, I'll be posting that. But as for right now, I want to go ahead and give some shout outs to you guys who killed the end of 2016 and are already rocking. It's January 2nd. So many of you guys are already in Success Club. Is anybody on this call in Success Club already? I see Tanya. Super awesome stuff. I know Morgan is. I saw in the Invite Like a Boss group. So many of you guys are on your way. If you're not there yet, hey, it's January 2nd. But if you are out there inviting, now is a fantastic time because people have health and fitness on the brain. They are stuffed full of Christmas cookies and they're ready for something. So why not be that thing? Because what do we know? If we don't know anything else, we know we get people amazing results. Today in the Beachbody blog, our very own Amber Pardo is featured, who has lost 100+ pounds. So if you need some motivation, you can go read the Beachbody blog, and what are you going to find? Dare to Dream coaches. Dan Palucci was on there, I think, last week too? Super awesome stuff. So first I want to give some of our top producers a shout out. These coaches had over 500 volume in one single week, and it was also the week of Christmas, which is even more amazing. Right after Christmas, these guys were hustling and helping a whole lot of people, and they deserve a shout out. So I'm going to start with the 500 superstars: Megan England, Brittany Papuza, Crystal Huey. 600 superstars: Craig Wyatt, Leah Gilmore, Jason Cosmitas, Brittany Carter, Jackie North, Kathy Baranti, Cassie Turner, and Rajon Hines. 700 superstars: Becky Hatton, Taylor DeBoard, Sheila Shackle, Ben Schroeder, Mary Beth Toulis. 800 superstars: Daniel Masakowski and Sarah Darrow. 900 superstars: Kylie Littman, Mandy Mila, and Ann Smith. 1,000 superstar: Nina Smolensky, rocking the house, Nina. And with over 1,000 volume is our top producer of the week, Cassidy Brewer. Seriously, craziness. All right, next up, I want to give a shout out to our top sponsors of the week. These coaches added 3 or more coaches to Dare to Dream in a single week. And like I said, it was right after Christmas. Another amazing feat. Way to go, Antoinette Neal, Jody Carter, Marcy Owens, Morgan Alexis, Savannah Glenn, and Sharon Lampier. Super awesome stuff. Now we had so many new emeralds. I mean, this is a record-breaking week, guys. So all of these emeralds, as long as they had updated the document, they won the Dare to Dream hat. Our Emerald to Diamond bootcamp training started today. So if you are not in there, you better get in there fast because you're already behind. But these coaches are officially Emerald. And if you're not Emerald yet, guess what? You still want to get to Emerald as fast as you possibly can, because that's when you're fully open for business. That's when you start banking team volume off this amazing team. So think of it like rollover minutes. Back in the day when you had a cell phone, you wanted to keep all those minutes, right? Well, this is the same. You want to get to Emerald so you can start stashing that volume. So here's our brand new Emerald coaches: Angelique Anderson, Carly Thorson, David Tucholke, Ellen Brown, Carmen Ettinger, Kimberly Hargrove, Kelsey Dobbins, Lisa Hayek, Michelle Hildebrand, Mike Nail, Scott Smolensky, Sergio Pimentel, Steve Mitchell, Sue L. Cohen, and Tanner DeBoard. Woo, a lot of emeralds, and you all need to check your messages because I have messaged you if I just called your name. Then we have some double emeralds, which means they've got 4 active coaches. They are halfway to diamond. Caitlin, Teresa, and Selena Kelly. And last but not least, we had a brand new Dare to Dream diamond coach, finished us off 2016. Miss Whitney Montandon. Way to go, Whitney. Excited to have you on the team call very soon. Hint, hint. Other than that, let's see. We have Super Saturday coming this Saturday. Hopefully you guys are planning to be there. If you have not already looked, you can go into the online office, find the event nearest you, and you want to attend for sure. It's also when they're going to announce our next Success Club trip. So guess what? Every person on this call, every person listening to the replay, you have the same opportunity to get on this next trip. We are going to Punta Cana in April. That's the trip we earned last year. Well, starting yesterday, your Success Club points start accruing for this next year's trip, and you're going to find out where it is on Super Saturday. So you want to go because it's also really fun. So make sure you find the event nearest you. If you are in the Jacksonville, Florida area, I definitely recommend you show up live, because the guy right there who's doing his workout in the middle of this call, Michael Ullman, will be our guest speaker. And he is the Beachbody Live Trainer of the Year. So that's going to be really awesome. Let's see. As far as other announcements, I think I covered it all. The health bet. Duh. Of course, we have the health bet starting 1 week from today. So before I hand this over to our guest speaker, I want to make sure that you guys are following up with anyone and everyone. Not to mention, it's January. Like I said, everybody's got health and fitness on the brain. Not to mention, we have the new All Access Challenge Pack, which the value cannot get any better. This type of value has never existed in the history of Beachbody. It is the easiest sell. You know, if you used to get price objections, there's no way you can get more for this. For only $199, you're going to get access to every single Beachbody program. Old, current, new, deluxe, you name it, along with a full bag of Shakeology, along with the Portion Fix containers, along with the Portion Fix meal plan, along with, if they do it by tomorrow or by today, you know, ideally, entry into the health bet where they're going to win some money back. So the health bet starts on Monday. What is the health bet? It just means you need to go create a challenge group in the Challenge Tracker app, get your customers into the group, and for the next 4 weeks starting Monday, they need to log in 5 Shakeologies with pictures per week on different days and 3 workouts. Super easy stuff to get people motivated, to give them that extra accountability, to rock their results, win some extra cash, and kick off your business in 2017. So I know I've already been messaging everybody today, and I'm going to be sending an email, a huge mass email out tomorrow as a final call. And they might be starting a little bit late even if they wait till tomorrow, but hopefully we can still get their 5 logins in time. So I hope you guys are taking advantage of this. I hope that you're planning on participating yourself in your own group or with your personally sponsored coach, because it's a great way to kick off your own results, because that's the number one thing in this business. You've got to be getting results in your life in order to help someone else get results in theirs. So there we go. All right, without further ado, hopefully there's so many of you guys on, which is awesome. Hopefully I can find our special, I see her, our special guest speaker tonight. I am super pumped. Becky volunteered to come share with you guys. She's kind of awesome, and I know that what she's going to share is really valuable, because I think a lot of times we can get confused, like, wait, what are we supposed to be inviting to? So she's going to just help us get some clarity on the actual actions we should be doing every single day to move our business forward. So Becky, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. New headphones. All right, so hey y'all, Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on the call. So the topic tonight, right, is invite, but to what? I wanted to talk about this topic specifically, and I think this is a pretty decent time of year to talk about it, because I know for me, after coming off the holidays where there were so many distractions and so much like just going on, that in years past, I've had the temptation to sort of take my foot off the gas right now and take a breather, and sort of ease back into this, full steam ahead working thing. And that's definitely not what anybody on this call or anybody in this business wants to be doing right now. Just, you heard Jessica and all the momentum that we have right now with the health bet, with the all access, with it being January and everybody focused on health and fitness. It's not the time to take the foot off the gas. You want to floor it, if anything else. Okay. So, this is going to be pretty basic. I would be curious if you guys want to type things into the comments as we go, as to like questions that you have, or things that you do as it pertains to what I'm about to talk about. Because I wanted to keep this at sort of a basic level, so it wasn't like too basic for the people who've been here more than a couple months, or too complicated for the brand new folks. But anyway, so bottom line is, we all know that to have a successful business, we have to spend some time every day inviting. Okay. And there's always this big mystery cloud that seems around, like, what does that actually mean? Like, invite to what? Who do I invite? All of that stuff. So I feel like most coaches, whether they're brand new or seasoned, it doesn't really matter. This can happen to you anytime in the season of your business, is you kind of get stuck somewhere along the way and just end up not inviting daily, or even worse, just inviting but not being consistent with it, right? So you're just sort of throwing things out there. And I always sit there and wonder, I'm like, well, why? Like, why? If we know this is like the gas to our fuel tank of our business, why is this not just like a no-brainer, easy thing to do? I'm sure you guys could list a million different reasons why, but most of it boils down to fear at the end of the day. For me, it was something I found a little different after I dug into like what was holding me back personally in my earlier days as a coach, to invite consistently. And I found it was basically that I had too many decisions. Okay. I'm the kind of person where if I get too many things that I have to be decided, I get lost in that, and I end up, I don't know, sidetracking myself so bad that I never get what I originally intended to do done. Okay. And that is exactly what was happening with my inviting on a daily basis when I was a younger coach, so to speak, right? I'd sit down to go to work, and I'd be like, okay, where's my list, and who should I invite? And then it was like, well, what am I even inviting to? And well, I guess if they better figure out what my next group is, I better go look that up. And whoops, I never planned my next group. So I guess I'll spend the next hour planning that out and never get around to inviting, right? I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that, but that was my regular thing for a while there. I basically just wear myself out and suck up all my time trying to get ready to invite instead of actually just doing it. So bottom line, that boiled down to why was I doing that? Because I didn't have a plan. I was not seeing the forest for the trees, so to speak, and not spending that 15 minutes per month, guys, to map out your plan for the month, so that when you sit down to work every day, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, you know exactly what the next thing coming up is, and you can just get to work and not leave that door ajar to let excuses and fear creep in and stop you from what you're going to be doing. Okay. For this is the last thing I want to mention, and then I'm actually going to share my screen and show you what I typically put together. But one thing that I like to relate business stuff to our fitness journey, right? Because they really go hand in hand. And I feel like when it comes to inviting, it's probably the most close thing that I can find to our fitness journey, right? Like our business is exactly like our fitness. It's like the right and the left hand. I'm sure all of you guys know, right? The awesome thing about Beachbody and our Beachbody programs is that if you just look at the calendar every day, push play, do the workout, and follow your eating plan, they work, right? It's not like a mystery. There's no decisions. There's no questions, right? If you just follow the calendar and do it every day, you get results. Bottom line, period. Okay. I mean, that's what we hear all the time from people who are struggling at the gym, right? They bought the gym membership. They maybe even went to the gym, but then they get there and they don't know what to do. So they don't get results. They get frustrated and they quit. So I'd like to just put this out there to say, if you don't have a plan for your business, you will get frustrated and quit. Eventually, you'll just get tired and frustrated and quit. And that's not what we want or you want. Nobody wants that. Okay. So let's talk about how we actually do this. How do you make a plan for your business? I like to make a monthly plan. Let me see if I can figure out how to share this. This one always stumps the IT person. Can you see that? So it's just what's a one pager. Okay, hopefully this isn't covering it up. There we go. Okay, is it small? Is it tiny? It looks fine on my side. Okay, so guys, this is just an example of a pretty basic calendar. I want to start out by saying you do not want to spend hours of your life making a pretty calendar, okay? Literally, you could take a piece of paper, print off a free blank calendar from the internet, print it out and write this stuff in there. The whole point is just to have it in your mind and a visual somewhere that you can reference back, when you sit down at your desk or when you pull up your phone or whatever to do your work, of like, what is on my most important to do today for my business, right? What's going to give me the biggest results? So this is what I do just about every month. Sometimes I make a calendar and share it with my team. Sometimes I don't. But this is generally what that looks like if I were to make one for this month. I don't know if you can see can you see my cursor? No? Can you see a cursor zoom in? Oh, okay, good. All right, good. Okay, so typically what I do is I follow these steps over here. Really simple. I told you this was going to be basic. I sit down with my month, and I usually do this maybe like a week or so before the end of the month even, get a little runway on it. But I basically just put in the important dates, right? And we know as coaches, right, we're inviting to the business and we're inviting to our challenge groups. So I think inviting to our coach events is probably the number one thing you should be doing every month if you do nothing else. And so I put those in here. I put in our live coach events on the second Thursday and the last Tuesday of every month now, right? Had to look that one up. And I just block those off, right? And then this is entirely up to you, but like for my business, I run one challenge group every month, and it starts usually like the first week of the month, the first Monday of the month. So like in this month we have, the health bet going on, which, changes things just a little bit, but I put those in there. I say, okay, my health bet begins here. The next thing I do, guys, is when I'm filling out my month for January, is I actually pick out what my start date for my next challenge group is going to be, my February group, right? Because the last thing you want to do is get to the end of January and be like, well, what's my plan for February? Because then you've got that whole process again of like, okay, well then you got to decide when it is, you got to plan it out. Did you wait too long to start inviting? And all that stress comes back in. If you know well in advance, then you can save yourself a lot of churn. So I block off, okay, my next challenge group is going to start approximately 4 weeks from when the last one started. And you get the idea, right? All these little stars are what that means. Okay. And then all you do is you back up from those important dates, however many days, for you feels comfortable, and begin focusing your invites on those events when you sit down to work. So like as an example, right? Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, I'm going to be focusing on inviting to the health bet, right? So today I was following up with everybody I could think of that still might need to purchase a challenge pack. Tomorrow and Wednesday, I'm going to be following up with everybody who I know has Shakeology already, but hasn't committed to either, the all access on demand or whatever, right? So I'm going to basically focus my time on filling up that health bet group for the next couple days. And then after that, right here where it switches over to purple, I then kind of turn my attention and my focus to talking to more coaches, to following up with people who maybe told me no to the business opportunity before, to doing the majority of my inviting is focused toward driving people to that live open house the following week. The last time, I guess, I don't remember which one it was, but I had quite a few attendees for one of the recent live events. And I had done exactly this. I had focused my time for about the week prior, emailing people, maybe who I hadn't talked to in months or maybe even a year, and just saying, hey, we talked about coaching before, we're doing this awesome live event. Would you want to check it out? Right. So those type of things where you have some intention behind what you're inviting to. Okay. One thing I forgot to mention here was the free group. I personally use free groups as like filler. Okay. So I'll usually back up about a week from any sort of an open house, and I'll focus my time inviting for about a week. For a challenge group, I probably back up, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So I know that my February group starts here at the end of the month. So I've got all this time. I set up my Facebook event invite the first part of the month, and then sort of invite to it all month long as I go along. But I usually give it about 2 to 2, maybe even 3 weeks to fill up a challenge group. But for free groups, if I find that I have like a blank week, like usually it's in the middle of the month, I have like nothing, no group starting or no group ending, I might decide to run a free group, right? So I usually keep those to 5 days, and you don't need a lot of runway for these, right? Because people aren't having to purchase anything. They're not like waiting on shipments and stuff like that. So it's perfectly plausible to like post about a free group on a Friday, Thursday or Friday, and then start it on that Monday and kind of get that urgency thing. For maybe people who are newer on this call, like one of the benefits of running a free group is to create a forum where you can build a better relationship with some of your new friends, right? So if you're trying to form people, you're trying to get to know them and get comfortable inviting them to the business or to something where they would have to pay you money, a free group is a great way to do that, to show them what you would be like as a coach, and without them having to buy anything at the moment. It's also a great place to invite people who've said no before because you can just keep them engaged, keep them in front of your face. Okay. One thing I wanted to point out at the number 3 here, remember you're not inviting the same people to every single event. This was something that used to stop me early on is because I thought like, if I put out a challenge group invite, I had to invite my entire friends list to that event. And then I would freak out because then, 3 days later, I was going to invite them all to the open house. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm crazy. So, which they would. So don't do that. When I'm saying, these days invite to your challenge group, these days, focus on inviting to the coach opportunity. It's really on you to know where you're at in the relationship with the people that you're talking to, right? If it's somebody who you've just become friends with and you're building that relationship and you don't feel like it's the right time to invite them to the coach opportunity, then that's your decision. Invite them to the challenge group instead, or, just invite them to something. And this monthly guide is geared toward helping you figure out, if you're sitting down to work, like what do you do next? Okay. Then you plug the right people into the right invite slots. Repeat, repeat some more. And as you do it more and more, you'll build your library of scripts that you feel comfortable using and that wording that works well for you, so that you can get more and more efficient with your inviting process every day. And again, remove those opportunities for excuses to creep in, for fear to creep in, and too many decisions to creep in and stop you from actually just doing it. One last thing I wanted to mention before I turn it back over to Jessica is I didn't cover it on this call, but scripts and challenge group posts, right? I know I heard personally from a few of my personally sponsored coaches this week, those last couple weeks, where there's still some like underlying fear or uncertainty, lack of confidence in running a challenge group, whatever that is, whether it's a full-on challenge group or whether it's a free group or what. Just some uncertainty of like, I can't do that. And I just wanted to reassure you guys that running a challenge group is probably the most forgiving and the most basic thing that you can do as a coach. And I say forgiving because when I ran my first challenge group, it was a complete like circus. It was people that were doing Beachbody stuff, people that weren't doing Beachbody stuff. I had no idea what I was doing. But what I basically did is I took the posts from the group that I had originally been in, right? I went through a challenge group as a customer, and then I basically started my own group, and I just regurgitated all those posts that my coach had used in her group, right? And maybe I changed the language so it sounded like me, took out the words that I would never say or whatever. And I just used those posts, right? Because I didn't know how to inspire people. I didn't know how to like say anything inspiring, but I thought my coach was pretty darn inspiring. So I just copied her stuff and posted it and in my challenge. And that was just an easy way to get started and build that confidence in myself that, I wasn't going to get lynched by these people if I said the wrong thing, right? People that have trusted you to be their coach and just to encourage them and motivate them, they're very forgiving. If you haven't experienced that yet, I challenge you to go start a group this month give it a whirl, right? You'll find, I guarantee it, that people are like, hey, you know what? You're here to help me and I appreciate it. They're not there to cut you down for whether your posts are magnificent or basic. They really don't care. They care about their results and what they're there to achieve. Okay. I think that's all I had, actually. If I can figure out how to get it here.
Awesome. Thank you, Becky. Everybody's loving your calendar, so I think moving forward, you're going to have to post them.
Okay. I'll post that one.
I see, let's see, we have a question here from Isham. Do you ever cold invite or always spend time forming first? I'm challenged with knowing how to work in an invite and not seem salesy when I break in our combo with an invite. So I'll let you answer that.
Okay. So I do both. And actually, this is something I had written down, but I didn't say. Tricky. So with the 3 different things that I listed out there, right? The open house, excuse me, the open house challenge groups and a free group. I kind of do a little bit of both for all 3, right? So for an open house, there's certain people that I would just lob a cold invite to, right? And there's tons of scripts in Dare to Dream about how to do that. So yes, I definitely do cold invites. But for the open house, I really try to target like the cold invites for people that I just don't know well, but who I've been watching and know would be a good fit for the team. I also really focus on inviting challengers, present and past, right? So that they can take a look at the business. And then of course, people who are on my radar from a coach prospect standpoint. Whereas like challenge groups, it's, I still do cold invites there, but it's a little bit different, right? I mean, it's people who maybe have attended a free group before. That's sort of a warm invite, I guess. Or people that have told me no in the past. And then, free groups, it's people that I barely know. Usually the people that I've just become friends with, or people who've told me no in the past to a challenge group. Those are the folks that I really target for free groups. So it's a little bit different, but I don't even know if that answered your question. I don't spend time forming everybody first, I guess is the bottom line.
And I'll add to that because I think that is a great question, because I feel like a lot of people get hung up on forming and the inviting process, which is why some people never get to the invite. So in my opinion, or in my world, and I've shared this with some of you before, especially my personal coaches, but I don't make small talk in normal life. I'm just not a small talker. So for me, whenever I thought forming was like having these like extensive conversations about the family, occupation, recreation, and then get to my message, I felt very fake and it was very forced. So I felt salesy because I'm like, I'm acting like I'm talking about their family, but like in real life, I would never do that. So what I do is I go a little bit more straight for the invite, but that doesn't mean that I'm not forming. So this is what I've learned now. Back then I'm like, oh no, I'm doing it wrong, or am I doing it right? Or when I'm doing it right, why do I feel weird? But I'm an overthinker, if you can't tell. But what I've done, what I realize now, and Josh Coates even, I think, had a really great way of doing it, was like forming is in the initial invite. You're supposed to get from the F to the M in the same conversation. So now, which is exactly what I did, but I just thought I was doing it wrong. So I used to be like, don't tell anybody, I don't form. But what you're doing is you're being human by saying, hey, covering the family, occupation, recreation in a friendly way, which for me was letting them know why I was inviting them. So for me, I might be saying like, hey, you know what? I've been following you on Facebook. I see you're super into fitness. You're a mom. Okay, whatever. I'm forming right there. I'm discussing their family, their occupation. I'm discussing things about them. So it's not just I randomly close my eyes, put my finger on you, and now I want you on my team. So to me, I think you can easily go through all of those in one. And then it's going to be, that's why I think you might be interested in joining my team. I think you'd be a great fit. So I do. And that's the beauty of this business, is you don't have to do it a certain way, but you can learn from people that have gone before you that have had success. So Becky just shared she has an amazing calendar. She has a perfect system to her inviting, where she knows on this week I'm inviting to this. She has a plan in place. I do it a little different. I invite to coaching every day. And I fall back on the challenge group. So I'm less focused on like one during one period of time and the other during another. And I'm more saying like, hey, if you want the total package, come join our team. You're going to get a transformation. You're going to get an amazing support system. And when you get results, you're going to have the chance to earn money if you choose to by paying it forward to other people. So I instead invite that way every single day, and then transition into, if they're like, you know what, I'm not ready for all that, I'm like, great, let's just start you in the challenge group. And then I kind of fall back there. So I think the key is like Becky said, like, you have to be inviting, and what you don't want to do is to be inviting to multiple things at one time, or the same person to multiple things. So whether you do it where one week you have the challenge group invite, the next week you have the open house, whatever, or if you do it the way I'm doing it, the key is you don't want to bombard people with something that's going to seem like, what are you doing? Even though you probably will, and you'll make some mistakes and you'll learn, but super awesome advice. So Becky, we had one more comment. Just wanted to be sure I understand. I tried getting a friend to do that, but she was like, but then I have to cancel, so I'm not charged after 30 days. I'm not sure. Oh, because you
said she was asking about a free group. So
okay.
Free groups, I mean, on free groups, like typically I like clean eating groups because they're, whatever, I love food. But so sometimes I don't even ask people to sign up for a free account with me for those groups. I used to try to do that, and they always were kind of like, why? So I don't even do that. I just use it as an opportunity to build a relationship with these people, because if it's a good experience, then they'll come back to either, future groups or whatever. I don't worry about it so much. But if I have done a Beachbody On Demand group before, and I just tell them, sign up for the trial, and yes, you are going to have to cancel before 30 days or you'll get charged. And I just tell them that up front.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then if they're not ready for that, then they're not ready for the group.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I know it was, because that's a question that I see asked frequently in the team. And I think moving forward, the key is one of our vital behaviors is inviting. So I'm just going to close this out in like 2 minutes, because I just got to say this and get this off my chest. Because, okay, I am very successful for one reason. I'm going to sum this up right now in a nutshell. I am successful because I am consistent. And if you can wrap your head around being consistent, I don't do extraordinary things. People are like, I want to come follow you around for a day. Why? I don't know what you think you're going to see. You're just going to see me consistently doing the same thing I did when I was a brand new coach. I'm still doing it 6 years later. I do my workout. I drink my shake. I invite. I follow up. I post in my challenge group. Repeat. Repeat it again. Repeat it again. Repeat it again. But we get hung up in this world on thinking there is this magic thing, or there's got to be something better. There has to be an easy button. There has to be a fast food lane, a carpool lane. There's got to be something else that's going to get me results, instead of just doing these little lame things every day because it doesn't seem to be working. When you can instead say, you know what, I'm going to do these things no matter what, no matter how successful I feel, no matter what results I think I'm getting, but I'm just going to keep doing them again, again, and again, because someone that was really successful told me to. I promise you will see results. That is what is the game changer in my life. That's why I have amazing fitness results. That's why I have amazing business results. And that's why I am growing as a person every single day, because I'm working on it. So I believe every single one here can be more successful than you even imagined if you will just be consistent. And it's on the 4 vitals. Why I love the vitals, because it covers every aspect of your life and they all work together. You can't, it's like a chain. If you've got a chain and you've got a link missing, it's not going to work. So if you are not doing your workouts, it's different if you have an injury or you're sick, that's different. But if you're just not doing them, you cannot expect to succeed. If you are not drinking Shakeology every day, you cannot expect to succeed. If you are not inviting every day and following up, because that's a 2-part vital, you cannot expect to succeed. If you are not reading your personal development, and a lot of you are not every single day, I know, because to do that every single day, because why? Why do we not do it? Because we're like, oh, that's not like producing a result, right? That's what you think. But that's because you aren't reading it every day, or you would know it produces amazing results. So that's my little tangent, because we're at a new year, and literally a year from now, your life can be 100% different in the best way possible, because different in my world is better. Change is good, and it's what I want every single morning I wake up. And every single night I go to sleep, I want to be proud of what I did that day to produce more change in my life. So thank you, Becky. Thank you, Dare to Dream. I cannot wait to see what this year brings. So just keep your eyes, keep the tunnel vision, go for what you want because it's within your reach. And that is what makes this business extraordinary. So dare to dream, you guys. Let's do the wave on the way out. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Becky.